People, deluded, I'm back again. Brighton 2, Arsenal 1, and what can I say, people? It's another disappointing result by the team I love and the team I've supported my whole life, people. We might as well review the player ratings. I tried to put it nicely there. It's a madness now. I can't lie, my 24 years, people, I do think this is the worst I've seen this side now. Shout out to my older heads. I see a lot of you comment, and when you lot see me in the street and whatnot, you have been through some mad times that I can only look back in history and see, but I can't truly comprehend. But no, I've never been there. I don't feel I've been this low as an Arsenal fan. Now, we've had lows where I felt this lower. The 10-2 against Bayern Munich, in school for me, when we lost against Brighton in the League Cup. I went to school just trying to fight people. You know when football banter goes too far? Me and the Arsenal fan just said, you know what? It's not even a football banter thing. You run bants, it's a fighting thing. I shedded a tear, people, to get it. It was a mad thing. My club fell off on a bad thing. What else is there? What other low moments? 8-2 against United, if I haven't said that a few years back. Mad games against Chelsea, and just about anyone of any credibility has bullied Arsenal for years. But in terms of the expectation in performance, expectation in league finish, I don't think we've been this low, people, in this single period. Like last season, you could say that, but I think this is the first time I can remember the season being killed off. Like remember we used to have them mad seasons, people, but we'd turn it around, there'd be a little push towards the end, a bit of form, we'll just get top four. Remember the good days, it was just top four and breaking BBC's voting systems for goal of the season and that, people. Like, in terms of expectation, downright enjoyment, just galvanisation, it's the worst collective bunch of a squad I've seen. We've got some good individuals. On their day, they're well, but fight, grit, determination, I don't see that, people. I never saw it. Today, when we're 1-0 down, you need to be resilient. When you want to get 2 goals, you need to show the fight, the grit and the determination to snatch them 3 points. Because no one's giving them out here in the Premier League. No one's definitely giving it to Arsenal out here. And the way we was playing, the situation we found ourselves in, you had to fight. I did see some man go out there and fight, but obviously there's no point a couple of the troops being at it if the whole army's collective isn't that. The whole base will die and lose to their enemies, like keeps happening. The shirt is too heavy, first and foremost, for a number of individuals, because they don't even have, forget the shirt in fact, and the manager and the fans. I'm not seeing pride in their own performances. Pride as a human being, like just downright human emotions. I'm not seeing it, and worse, if I'm not seeing it, you might genuinely not have that fight in you, to which you shouldn't be in the Premier League. You shouldn't be in the top. A lot of these players cannot play in the Championship anyways. But you shouldn't even be in the top 2 leagues in this country. Maybe even 3 if you can't fight. You need to fight. There's no fight there. Being able to learn from mistakes evidently has not improved at this club. Obviously, specific to that game, the real doing tactics. As much as I love Ljungberg and he's not had much time playing cams on the flanks, top strikers on the flanks. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to get into it. I've done it in another vid. Bewildering tactics in that regard. Players have to take the blame because they always say they're at it and whatnot. Experienced individuals. You can't teach an old dog new tricks like David Luiz and Socrates are showing. Shout out to my older heads because obviously you can, but these two don't want to learn that. I feel Kolasinac was our best defender today. I feel by his own standards he had a good game on a game-by-game basis. I mean, no disrespect to him, but we all know when you name Kolasinac's strengths, for example, you're not going to list anything defensively beyond being strong, I guess. If he's the best defender in your team, then in this game, then forgive me if I'm wrong, people. You Sly know you had a bad day at the office. Bellerin had a better second half, but he was poor today. Centre half's terrible, to put it kind. Leno, big boy saves, and if he didn't make a couple of them saves, it could have been worse for us, people. But distribution poor. Yeah, man, I've been ranting. Let's just talk about the player ratings, people. Leno, I give him a 6. I probably would give him a 7, but I've marked it down in my head, people, because I just can't get over how frustrated I was being at the stadium with his distribution. It just was piling pressure onto us. It was making us slow on the counter. He made some big saves, and when you've got a defence of that standard like you have in front of him, I commend him. There's a reason, and he shouldn't be there. There's a reason he's up there for saves made in the Premier League and all them stats, because we have a terrible defence. He can walk away with a 6. Bellerin, I give Bellerin a 5. He was en route to get a 4. I boosted his point up for a better second half. I did think technically he won. Did he win the corner that led to our goal, or did he win the free kick that led to the goal disallowed? Either way, I think he had a better second half. First half, I was thinking like Aubameyang's begging for you to overlap. I don't know if it's a fitness thing. I don't know if he's tired. I don't know if he's unwilling to do it. But it was becoming evident for everybody and everyone I was sitting next to. You need to make that run, even if the ball's not going to come to you. Take someone away. Think about it. If I'm a right back, people, if you're on the wing and you've got the ball, people, and I make an overlap around you, and there's a competent defender, is he not going to think, oh gosh, he's making a run, let me follow him? A gap can appear that you can exploit. People underestimate that. People always state movement, but I think they don't truly comprehend the beauty of players moving when they're not necessarily getting the ball. You can have just as much of a hand in a goal as someone who makes an assist just by making a run. Go and look at Liverpool's front three. If you go and look at their goals 2 or 3 times, you'll see certain runs. I wasn't seeing none of that today, really and truly, from Bellerin. So Bellerin can get a 5. Louise and Socrates, people, I don't want to upset myself further. I'm going to give them 3s. Louise, the one thing I say, I think his ball playing was alright today and was quite good. And one of the only ones, along with Jacques, are trying to just get out your feet and do it, man. Stop this short crap. It's not working. 3s. Come on, man. We've been down here with both individuals. We've been down here with other individuals. I'm not going to sit here and talk about defenders, and especially them two, because it's not worth it. We've been down this road. Forget about them. I'm going to give Kolasinac a 7, to be fair, man. In the context, I couldn't have demanded more. If I watch the goals again and having come from the game and see he could have done more, then I might say something else. But I'm going to give him a 7. That brings us on to the midfielders. Joe Willock probably had a tough day. I'm going to give him 4 people. Maybe he should even deserve a 5. I feel the application was there. He tried to fight. He's still learning, and that's what's down to the coaching staff to help bring him up that level. But I did think he struggled today. Got in there physically, but was getting tossed about a bit. On top of that final ball, like a number of players on different wavelengths, and it just weren't there. And I did tweet as well, not that I know anything, that I'm pretty sure he will be subbed at half time for Pepe, people, which happened. So Joel gets a 4. I'm going to give Torreira a 6. I feel Torreira played quite well today, people, to be fair with you. Did what he could. Midfield was allowing too many runners, but there wasn't much I could ask for Torreira. There was some application there. I'm going to give Xhaka a 6 as well. Potentially a 7, to be fair with you. I think Xhaka had quite a good game. Made some couple bookie passes, got caught in possession, but in comparison to other individuals, there isn't much I can ask from Xhaka beyond what I'm asking from the whole team to learn from their defensive errors and all the rest of it that I don't need to keep repeating. I think Xhaka, obviously we know what Xhaka and Arsenal was been on, but if you look at today and judge it on today, I think he is one of the only Arsenal players, potentially him, Kolasinac, potentially Torreira, Leonard to a degree, that can leave this picture of any credibility, to be fair with you. So yeah, man, I'll give... that's the ratings I give obviously to my man, and to Xhaka. So that's Joe, Torreira, Xhaka. I give Pepe a 7 just from basically when he came onto the field, because he impacted and showed something we're lacking. So I give him a 7. Lacazette, technically he scored, so he gets a 5, but I think it's really a 4. I think he was quite poor today by his own standards. I'm not into scapegoating players and stuff, but I do also question fans' logic, because Mesut Ozil gets spoken about walking around a lot. Lacazette walks around the field. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because I love Lacazette, but he walks around the field a lot, and he is a bit of a moaner. And to be fair, he is starting to frustrate me as much as I love him. I need to see more from Lacazette, man. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating because balls are getting hitting behind at times. He's not chasing them. He's not really got the pace to break. And I'm not really seeing anything to justify moving everybody around to accommodate him as essentially the sole striker. So he can get a 5, and congratulations for him making 100 appearances. And I believe he technically scored. Admittedly, when I was watching the game, I thought it was technically Thingy's goal. Kolasinac's goal, but he technically scored. So yeah. Aubameyang a 5. He did what he could. He's not playing in his position. I'll give him a 5. I don't feel I'm missing anyone else out. Tierney came on. I'll give Tierney... I don't feel Tierney was on the field really long enough to affect the game, same as Martinelli. If I'm missing any players out, people, that just means they was atrocious. So, on that note, people, DG, I'm out. Thank you for listening to the player ratings.